Go ahead.
Welcome. We are freshly back from a remarkable World Summit 2025 in Seoul, Korea. Today, we are going to hear testimonies from change makers and influencers who move the millions. Kindly mute yourself and be sure to post your questions in the chat, because I'm sure there'll be many. First up, we're going to have a video by Newt Gingrich, Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, 1995 through 99, and Member of Congress, 99 through 99. He's currently an advisor to President Trump, Fox News contributor, where you might have seen him, and author of 43 books. Dr. Gingrich left his employ as a history professor at University of West Georgia long ago and now runs Gingrich 360, a multimedia production and consulting company. This address was recorded at the IAPP General Assembly in Seoul, Korea, just a moment ago. Here, let's roll.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jenkins, and I want to thank everybody who's here. I have to say, as somebody who served in a legislative body and ultimately became Speaker, it's very impressive to have this many leaders from this many different countries all arranging their schedules to be here. Because I know, as a leader in your own country, all of you have very full schedules. So just to have you be here is kind of, to me, an amazing statement about the possibilities. Now, I do want to thank, you're going to hear briefly from a very close friend of mine. We worked together for many years, Dan Burton, who's done a great job working with His Excellency Yusuf Raza Gilani, who is the current chairman of the Senate of Pakistan. They have really put together a brand new opportunity to get people. You know, all of you know this from your own background. There are many legislators. Some of them are good legislators. Some of them are adequate legislators. Some of them are really bad legislators. But as a general rule, by the time you get to be Speaker, you had to learn a lot. You had to make a lot of friends. You certainly learned how to count votes. And so a collection of speakers is a very different level of knowledge than just random legislators. And so I think this is a very interesting phenomenon, and I'll tell you why. We have many idealists who have big ideas, but they're not doable. And we have many people who get things done, but many of them aren't particularly idealists. To find a way to bring together people who know at a practical level how to get things done. And each of you knows that, because you could not have gotten to be Speaker if you weren't pretty good at figuring out how to count votes, what's doable and what isn't, how to talk in a way that your colleagues will listen to you. And so the collective practical idealism of a group like this could really grow in ways that are fascinating. And by using the internet and Zoom and a variety of communications, so it's not just once a year, but people begin to create friendships. They begin to work with each other. I was very struck, Dr. Jenkins, as I was sitting thinking about what you all are putting together. When you look at the American experience, every one of the founding fathers was a practical politician. They'd all won legislative seats. They all understood the process. They all knew you had to compromise. Our Constitution was written with a series of very large compromises. And they all knew that if you were too rigid, nothing would get done. But if you didn't have idealism, the thing you got done wouldn't be worth it. And I think on a global basis, and this will shock some of our friends in the universities and the news media, we don't have enough political dialogue among people who know what they're doing to talk about practical solutions and to get things done And often you can have a big vision, but you've got to take incremental small steps, building blocks, if you will, to make that vision come together. So I think we have a great opportunity. And I also tell you, I worry a great deal about the dangers. We live in a world where between epidemics or pandemics, the potential of nuclear war, the continuous endemic violence, there are many challenges to moving forward. And yet, we live in a world where the technological breakthroughs, the opportunities to create prosperity, the potential for breakthroughs in healthcare are so enormous that if we could find a way to have our solutions grow faster than our problems, we could give our children and our grandchildren a remarkable future. And I think in the end, politicians play a major role in doing that. And I think among the most experienced of politicians are people who've learned how to be speakers of the House or speakers of the Senate, and how to actually bring people together voluntarily and get them to agree to vote yes on something while listening to each other in order to form the coalition. So I'll just make 3 other quick points. First, being in Korea, where my father served in 1953, and where over 26,000 Americans died in the process of protecting South Korea. And my father came back as a career soldier in the late 1960s. We're still at war, technically. We have been at war since 1950, technically. And yet, when I look at the Seoul, Korea my father was in 1953, and I look at this extraordinary world city that has grown up, I realize that working together, we can achieve things that are astonishing. And I can pledge to all of you that the United States remains committed to peace on the Korean Peninsula and committed to the continued prosperity and growth of a free Republic of Korea. And in that sense, I come here with great joy for my family and the relationship we've had all these years. Second, I think that it's very important to recognize that all across the planet, we have problems that are going to require cooperative working together to get them solved. Some of them are problems of poverty, some of them are problems of disease, some of them are problems of hatred. And how do we learn to talk with each other rather than kill each other? And again, I think as a practical matter, all of you know that in your own legislative body, you have a few members who, if you pushed them the wrong way, could hate each other, or they could learn to sit down in a room and work out a bill and get something done. And so we have to bring that kind of, if you will, shepherding people towards dialogue, shepherding people towards steps that are successful, that lead to bigger steps that are successful, that lead to a habit of success. And we have to do this everywhere. This is a huge problem, both inside countries and between countries. And lastly, I can't come here and not at least comment briefly. I am very worried about the threats to individual liberty. I'm very worried about what the Japanese government is in the process of doing. And there's a practical reason for this. The first human right is the right to approach God. In our Declaration of Independence, we say, we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This was a very radical statement in 1776, because it said, our rights don't come from the king, they don't come from bureaucrats, they don't come from rich people. Our rights come from God. And when you cut off the ability to approach God, and you start making it illegal for people in their own way to approach God, you are cutting at the very heart of freedom. And all across the planet, not just in Japan, but in a number of countries, we see an emerging totalitarianism that believes that it's the state which decides, not you. It's the state which determines what freedoms you're allowed to have, as opposed to the model that says we have the power from God and we will determine what power the state has. These are fundamentally opposite views of the world. And I think it's very important as you come together that protecting freedom of religion, protecting human rights, helping end trafficking in persons, which is a horrible and enormous worldwide problem, including inside my country. Every country has this problem. Finding a way to stop the scourge of drugs, which in America today kills more people every year than were killed in the entire Vietnam War. These are real challenges. And I think this organization is a very important step towards creating an arena in which people can reach out, learn from each other, share ideas, share problems, and create a better future. So it's a great honor for me to be allowed to be here today and to share those ideas with you. I wish you tremendous success in this journey towards a better human future. Thank you very, very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Newt Gingrich. Before we invite our commentators who are standing by, we have a tape presentation from the same Seoul, Korea gathering by Pastor Paula White-Cain, the current director, White House Office of Faith. She's a founder and president of Paula White Ministries and Story Life Church in Apopka, Florida, president of the National Faith Advisory Board and the City of Destiny, and hosts the Christian television program Paula Today. I'm sure you'll enjoy her brief presentation here. Let us roll. I think we need sound here.
Leadership and the work with IAPP and Dr. Charles Young and Dr. Michael Jenkins. We're so grateful and thank you for your tireless leadership as you continue to guide as the light of the Universal Peace Federation. It really is an honor for my husband John and I to be here. It has been dear in my heart for so many decades to see the reunification between North and South Korea. I also want to thank our host, the 22nd National Assembly of the Republic of Korea, and Mr. Speaker, and to all the colleagues at the National Assembly here. But it's so special for us to be here and to continue to come, though we were only here for 2 days. The importance of showing up, I call it the ministry of presence, is absolutely vital to say that we care about a better world. So we think of the atrocities that take place around the world, the food insecurity and abuses. You think about the forced labor of speaking South Korean and the absolute torture. The first time President Trump was in our administration, we had many de factos from North Korea that we privately hosted. And Congressman, it broke my heart to think, I agree with Speaker Newt so much, that the first right to every human being is the right to approach God and the right to have that kind of freedom. And all of us are here collectively so that we can do better. And I just have a few thoughts. I am here in my personal capacity, but I have recently been appointed as senior advisor to President Trump of the White House Faith Office. He located it in the West Wing with the Oval Office, and if you know anything about the complex of the White House, we have the EEOB, which hosts hundreds of employees, and we have about 13 offices, maybe if that, in the West Wing. He wanted people to know how much faith was important and such an important part of religious liberty for his administration. He gave me a full EOP, which is Executive Office of the President's staff, of 7 to 9 for a standalone office that directly reports to him. I'm honored to serve in this and to represent people from around the world. We also appointed faith directors in every single cabinet or department, in every single agency, because this is a priority to our administration. And me being here is a priority for me as a pastor, and also to so many millions and millions of Americans and people around the world, and especially to our administration. We get to work on incredible things, and he understands the importance that it is not just a time. It's interesting what people think that the office of faith is, because I think they believe that it's we pray, which we do, that we worship, which we do. His White House welcomes that. We have many wonderful things. We've had over 1,000 faith leaders in the last month and a half, but it's so much more than that. We shape policy. We work with National Security Council, with governments to make sure that the atrocities that take place in some nations cannot continue in the course that they have been on. And we will use all of our strength to make sure that all people have human rights. And as Speaker Gingrich spoke, their first right. My heart's full as I stand here again on Korean soil, a land that I've visited for decades. I think I first came here in the 90s, and I came and I would preach the gospel in this wonderful, beautiful land. And it is with prayerful expectation for many, many decades that I have believed God for a divine destiny for the reunification of Korean Peninsula. And the alliance between the United States and the Republic of Korea was forged in fire and solidified in sacrifice, a sacrifice that none of us can ever forget, as we think about 4 million people that died for the freedom of this beautiful nation that we're standing in right now. From the battlefield of the Korean War to the shared commitments of today, our nations are bound not just by treaties, but by trust, and most of all, by faith. At the center of this ongoing journey for peace, few have done more than Dr. Hak Jong-moon. Dr. Moon has been a prophetic voice, one who has suffered, one who has persevered, and one who has prevailed. I want to thank her for her incredible persistence as a spiritual leader who loves the Lord and seeks to bring comfort to the heart of God in all nations, and especially in areas of conflict, particularly to the Middle East and to Korea. Alongside of her husband, her late husband, Reverend Moon, she and he have walked a road that not many would dare to travel. Her escape from North Korea at an age of 5, guided by her Christian mother and grandmother, to me mirrors the Exodus, leaving bondage to pursue a divine purpose. Her efforts, along with her husband, particularly in 1991 with their visit to meet Chairman Kim Il-sung, were not political gamuts. They were spiritual missions, yes, carried out in faith and prayer and hope. They risked their lives to sow seeds of peace and reconciliation. And that kind of courage changes history. It will take that courage to really bring forth peace in a better world. As Jesus said in Matthew chapter 16, verse 25, whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it. I believe that she has lived that truth, and today her assignment from heaven continues to bear great fruit. Dr. Moon and her late husband, Reverend Moon, not only founded the Universal Peace Federation and the Washington Times, but they also took very bold, visionary action to address the deep divide between North and South Korea. Their influence has sparked broad support, not only in the United States, but around the world, for the cause of peace and reunification. We all know the history. We all understand most of it, at least those of us that are here. But one of the things I'd say is the same spirit that exists in the people of the North, the family bonds between North and South remain, and they cannot be erased. No ideology can erase the eternal bond of family. As I was just reading the Human Rights Report, I was so grieved in my spirit and so heavy in my heart before I got here to think just miles away on the same peninsula, our brothers and sisters are deeply suffering.
Yes.
Those ties are not just sentimental. Those ties between family members of North and South Korea are spiritual. And they are why I believe that peaceful reunification is not only possible, but may happen more quickly than many believe. The peaceful reunification of North and South Korea is not merely a diplomatic goal. It is a divine calling. America, Korea, and our allies, including Japan, must stand united. And we will call upon all global communities, including those with strong ties to China and Russia and North Korea, to be bridges for peace. Nations like Cambodia and Vietnam have shown that it is possible to pivot towards friendship and prosperity. And their support of Dr. Moon's peace efforts is absolutely vital, as is all of ours. And I believe with all of my heart that the future of the Korean Peninsula will not be determined by weapons or by wealth, but by worship, by a return to God. And as a servant in the Trump administration, I can assure you that faith is not on the sidelines. President Trump, as I said, has elevated faith-based diplomacy, defended religious liberty, both in America and abroad, as a priority, and stood boldly for the cause of peace and family. And through the White House Faith Office, it is affirmed that spiritual leaders are essential to shaping national destiny. As Scripture says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God. Peace is not passive. It is active. It is prophetic, and it is often very costly. But peace is possible because God is still working through his people. So as everyone has said, we must continue to engage in dialogue. We must continue to work. Let us defend liberty and family, and let us believe again in the dream of a united Korea, not by might, not by power, but by the Spirit of God. Thank you, and God bless you.
Well, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Now we're going to invite Dr. Michael Jenkins, the president of UPF North America, likewise the Washington Times Foundation, and also chairman of the Washington Times Holdings. He has led many successful fact-finding trips to Korea for policy experts and peace initiatives to the Middle East for the Universal Peace Federation. And like all of us who are on this program, Dr. Jenkins was at the IAPP program in Korea. We're going to let him take it over from here. Dr. Michael Jenkins, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Dr. Berg, I really appreciate your leadership putting this program together. Special thanks to Pastor Paula White and also to Speaker Gingrich, and especially the new chairwoman of the International Association of First Ladies for Peace. We had 14 current and former First Ladies that she was the keynote speaker there in another part of the forum, and also to the Honorable Dan Burton, the global co-chairman of the International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace. I'm just going to take a moment to take a look at the larger program that we were part of. Really was a beautiful experience, and I'm not going to show everything, but just give you an idea of the feeling there. That was the morning session we had at the Latte Hotel, and that's President Jimmy Morales from Costa Rica, and also he's former president. She is the current First Lady of Costa Rica at this time. And then we had a president from Africa. We had also Pastor Paula White, who you met. We had President Goodluck Jonathan, who served as president of Nigeria from 2010 to 2015. He is a really strong support for Holy Mother Han, which has really come to understand how to bring all the different segments of the world together. Dr. Young was just graduated from being chairman of the UPF, and he's got a new assignment coming. And we have a new president, Dr. Taj Ahmad, who is taking Dr. Young's place. And we're really happy about that. Dr. Young will go on to do great things again. but we're really happy. President Pastrana, former president of Colombia, and then myself, and also Abuna Yafa, who is the chief Coptic spiritual leader of Ethiopia. It was really great. So we had wonderful programs and also many important speakers. About 2,000 people attended this session in the Latte Hotel there. And then we had Sikhs, and we had every faith: Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, Sikh, and Jain, and Confucian. And really amazing, amazing gathering. Speaker Gingrich spoke there. And also, one thing we didn't show yet, but we will show, is Jonathan Cain wrote us a song for the summit. It was very, very nice, very beautiful. This is President of the Senate of Pakistan, President Jalani. He is also was the Prime Minister of Pakistan for 6 years, and really an outstanding leader for the development of Pakistan as an ally of the United States. He is currently the current chairman of the Senate of Pakistan, and he also was elected at this conference to be the chairman of the Interparliamentary Speakers Conference. 40 speakers came who are current speakers from 40 different nations. Then we had delegates from all the different congresses of the world. Dan helped to bring them together. 114 countries were represented. That's the most we've ever had. 114 countries. That's really surprising. Good luck. Jonathan was just really a long-term leader, President Pastrana. He was the only person that was captured by the drug cartel when he was running for mayor of Bogota, and he survived. He's the only one that was able to escape and survive. And he later became president. President Macky Sall served as president of Senegal for 14 years, and he just finished. And he also is a Sunhawk Peace Prize winner, very, very close with Mother Moon, and First Lady of Costa Rica. And we had all of our different speakers there. It was really a wonderful thing. President of Serbia from 2018 to 2022. Really outstanding leaders. Jimmy Morales, Costa Rica. And we had the sessions there. And we had 75 people from 75 delegates from Europe. We had 149 delegates from Africa. About 50 of them couldn't get visas. So that was really a great experience there. I want to thank everybody for that. Also, we had the current president of the UN General Assembly, Philemon Yang, from Cameroon. He was longest running sitting president of Cameroon, almost 18 years. He is the current president of the UN General Assembly, and he's going to welcome Mother Moon there in May or June to a forum for the whole General Assembly. So that'll be very special. And that was just a really wonderful experience. And I'd like to stop this share, and I'll share another, which is the parliamentary meeting we had at the National Assembly, which was very, very good. And that meeting was at the National Assembly on Saturday, the 12th of April. And we had various speakers. This is President Redondo, is the current president of the Congress of Honduras, and he's also the president of FORPREL. FORPREL is the Association of the Speakers of Speakers of Central America. There are 9 speakers, including Mexico, 9 current speakers, and 6 of them came to the conference. This is where he was showing that FORPREL had signed a document to join together with UPF and the ISC but he also has invited, he broke protocol. No organization has ever become a member of the Speakers Conference of Central America and Caribbean. No organization. They're only allowed to be observers, but he welcomed UPF as a member, a member. That's kind of unusual, but he was so moved by this program. And we had a wonderful time with him. This gentleman here, Eknath Dekal, is a current member of the Parliament of Nepal. He was the Minister of Unification for Nepal. Very interesting country. The current president or Prime Minister Oli is a communist. Very shocking. But they've worked out relationships there, and it took 13 years to stop the fighting. And it just happened last February after 13 years of negotiations with people who were in the jungles and so forth and in the countryside. So this was a really great moment. We had various speakers there, but here's Congressman Burton gave his opening remark as the chairman of the IAPP, and we also had Pastor Paula White. This beautiful lady is from Brunei, near Indonesia, a Muslim leader, member of parliament. And we have so many members of parliament. It's just very exciting. This is the president of the UN established University of Peace in Costa Rica, and officially established by the United Nations. They gave Mother Moon an honor. This is the new president of UPF, Taj Ahmad, originally from Africa. He's a U.S. citizen, tremendous leader. And my colleague, the Zamora, the parliamentarian from Brazil, is a very prominent leader there on the conservative side. And she is really very special too. So, there's Dr. Young. Again, he's concluded his term. This is Mr. Khalida, who's one of the longest serving members of Parliament of India, very close with Prime Minister Modi. And then this is Keith Best, who is our UPF IAPP chairman for the United Kingdom, and various others. This is a gentleman very important. He's from Syria, and his father-in-law was the Grand Mufti of Sheikh Kuftaro. Sheikh Kuftaro is he passed away years ago, but he's really very, very well known throughout the Muslim world, one of the leading scholars and leaders. And his wife is his daughter. This is Muhammad Habash. And Muhammad's very special. He's now living in UAE, but a very special leader that is international and very capable. When Sheikh Kuftaro met Father Moon in 1990, Father Moon asked him to send 40 leaders to New York to spend 40 days in interfaith education. Isn't that amazing? And this Sheikh Kuftaro, his father-in-law, sent 40 Muslim leaders. There were 24 sheikhs, 24 imams. There were 5 university presidents. There was the rest making up the 4 women leaders. And we've met them, Samia, in Lebanon. We met them also in Jordan. And they're all still very close to us from that experience. They spent 40 days hearing the principles and the teachings of Father and Mother Moon. That was really, really an outstanding experience. So that's why, these people are just very special. And this is the gentleman from Sri Lanka, one of the former speakers, and just went on. There's Tom McDivitt, our chairman of the Washington Times, and there's our final photo here. We had a wonderful time together. So that's a World Summit Peace Declaration that we signed. And then we had the Mr. Chung, who is the senior leader, current member of Congress, and he's very likely to become the next prime minister if the Minju party wins. It's a more liberal party. Dan and I and others met him before, and we met him in his office before. But we're very happy to meet Congressman Burton and Speaker Gingrich. He's a very influential. He's the most popular national television announcer for the main news of Korea for about 20 years, and then he ran for Parliament when he was about 40, and now he's in his 60s. Chairman Na, we met with Dan Burton on the Washington Times Fact Finder. Chairwoman Na was chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, and she declared her nominee or her candidacy for president. She didn't win the primary, but she's an outstanding friend. In fact, she just arrived in Washington today for meetings with Joe Detrani and others. We really enjoyed this time together. There's our chairman right there, the co-chairman of the IAPP. Dan is loved in Africa. He's loved all over the world because he has such sincerity, character, and heart to draw all people together. He goes through a lot of sacrifices to be the leader of IAPP. It's not easy to go around the world, and also we went to Cambodia together. He really won the heart of the then Prime Minister Hun Sen, who is one of those people that has met Kim Jong-un 2 times on behalf of Mother Moon. And so we went and supported the election, which was the election that went to Prime Minister Hun Manet, who's the current Prime Minister. Prime Minister Hun Sen was elected to be the president of the Senate, so he has still a lot of authority. His son is the current Prime Minister, but we were election judges there. We were election observers, and there were about 70 election observers. 50 of them came from UPF, and we had 14 former presidents and speakers of parliament there, together with Congressman Burton and Samia. We observed that election. It was a very, very good election, very well organized. It was no harassment or anything. It was very open. And Dan went on TV and said, "You know what? I think America could learn," because we had just been through that horrible election of 2020. And Dan said, "I think America could learn something about elections from Cambodia." Well, that went on national news and was played for about 3 days. And the Prime Minister put that on his website. Now, he is the direct liaison that's meeting Kim Jong-un on behalf of Mother Moon. And Dan Burton, you won his heart. Now, I really ask you to really be honored today. Your sacrifices are not in vain. You sacrificed your whole life to bring justice and peace to all nations, especially for America and bringing America together. So I'd like to welcome Congressman Burton. Then we're going to see a short video, and then we're going to welcome Chairwoman of the IAFLP, International Association of First Ladies for Peace in the United States. Congressman Burton, welcome. We're glad you could make this program. I do want to thank Dr. Berg for making this happen. Congressman Dan Burton, our co-chair globally of the IAPP, the International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace. Welcome, Dan.
Hey, Michael. Thank you very much, Dr. Jenkins. I can't thank you enough for all the hard work you have put forth year in and year out, but especially for this conference that took place in South Korea. It was a very difficult thing to organize, and you did a great job. I don't think you've gotten enough pats on the back for that. So I'll just say for everybody, good job, well done.
Thank you. Thank you, Congressman.
Yeah, let me just say that it's been an honor for me to be involved with IAPP for all these years. And it's been a real honor to work with Father Moon when he was alive, and now with Mother Moon, who carries on and does such a magnificent job. One of the things I'll say at the outset is maybe to follow up on what Newt Gingrich said, and that is religious freedom is so important to freedoms around the world. And right now we have some countries that have been trampling on religious freedom, and we should bring to their attention that they have to change. One of the things that has disappointed me greatly is our friends in Japan. Japan has recently been putting pressure on Mother Moon and the church. And they've even contemplated taking away assets of the church, which is a direct violation of religious freedom. So if anyone from Japan is paying attention today, and I hope they are, I hope you'll take to heart what I'm saying and what others are saying, and that is, let's have religious freedom in Japan as well as around the world. And the things that are going on right now, in my opinion, must change if you're to continue to be a leader in the world. And so with that, let me just say, Michael, and to our moderator and to everybody, and Larry, my good friend Larry Moffat, thank you very much for letting me participate today. And I hope to see you all again real soon. Oh, and incidentally, you're going to get a chance to see my beautiful wife here in just a minute.
All right, all right. Well, Larry, were you able to get the picture of Dr. Burton speaking?
No, I wasn't. She
Okay, well, let's
did
keep
not
looking.
pick up. I think she was in a meeting.
All right. Welcome to Dr. Samia Burton, who was just appointed on April 12th with the World Women's Federation for World Peace. The international president, Dr. Hori, was there, and our delegates from all over the world. Every section of the world has women's federation, Asia, also Africa, also Europe and the Middle East, as well as all of the European area, and also North America now has our chairwoman. I'm so grateful for Dr. Samia Burton. She kind of saved the day on Sunday, because Sunday we were going out to the new place for the International Center for Peace, and also the Channel Sanctum, which is a center where we believe God has come to dwell and lead the world to peace. But that morning we had two things happen that were really shocking. Pastor Paula White took ill over the night and couldn't sleep all night, and really had she almost went to the hospital. And she said she couldn't come. And then right at the same time as we're leaving, Speaker Newt Gingrich accidentally cut his finger, and he couldn't get it to stop bleeding. And but the good news was Dr. Samia had her medical kit, or her medical, brief case, and she patched him up, got him there on time to the Channel Sanctum ceremony. And Pastor Paula White suddenly, she knew how important it was to Mother Moon. It was the main thing Mother Moon's been focused on for the last 2 years. And it was beautiful. So thank you. She made it also. So I feel like Dan and Sammy are kind of the anchors for the whole World Summit. So welcome, Dr. Samia Burton. God bless you. Welcome, Chairwoman Samia Burton.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jenkins. This is a great introduction, and I am really honored to serve as the co-chair of International Association First Ladies for Peace. I'm more proud to be the spouse of the IAPP chairman, and I am really honored to be in here. The conference in Korea for peace and prosperity was truly inspiring. We've been going there for years, and every time the conference gets better and better. And I don't know how you work and how you do it to get more leaders to participate. That conference, it really brought together leaders from around the world, and first ladies, very distinguished first ladies from around the world, all with shared hope for peace, strong families, and moral leadership. I felt encouraged and more committed to working together for a better future for our children and our grandchildren. And my heartfelt and of course, our appreciation mostly to Mother Moon, the Mother of Peace, Holy Mother Han, who really, without her work, nothing of this would have happened. And for her entire family for working so hard for peace. And thank you all for your hard work, and looking forward for other meetings with you. Thank you very much.
You see why I married her?
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Burton. You are wonderful to be with. My wife, Reiko, loves you so much. And at the end of the program, I want to introduce you to my daughter-in-law who's on the program, Ariane Hoffman. She lives in Indianapolis with her 3 children and my son, and they want to get together with you as soon as possible to have lunch or something. And, so Ariane, thank you. I'll ask you to.
Let me just
say
interrupt,
hello.
Michael, you and Reiko ought to come over and we'll all go out to dinner together.
Okay, great idea, great idea. But they want to take some steps to get to know you because they know how powerful you are in Indiana, and they want to get to know the center of power. Want to show a quick video here. One is EJ, if you could put up Congressman Burton's video of speaking at the Parliament of the Republic of Korea. If you could put that up, and I'm going to show another short video.
After all the bad guys, I didn't realize when I got married I'd really learned what fear is. Because my wife, when she gets angry at me, right away I know what fear is. She's a wonderful lady and she's strong. She doesn't beat me, but she lets me know when I made a mistake. You know, there's an old saying, the man is the head of the household, but the woman is the neck, and the neck turns the head. So I want you men out there and you ladies to know that I really believe that. First of all, I want to thank Dr. Jenkins for his introduction. And I want to mention Jose Venecia, who is my co-chairman of the International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace. And I want to thank Dr. Charles Young for all the things that he's been doing and his help with the Federation. I also want to thank the Honorable Dong Young Chung, into whose house we were courteously received today. And I want to thank our host on the other side of the aisle, the Honorable Nan Young Wan, who's the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee and Unification Committee of the Korean National Assembly. You know, I speak for, as he said before, about 7,500 members of the International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace. I don't think there's anything that's more important in this world right now than peace. And here on the Korean Peninsula, we have the North Koreans who have developed a nuclear capability that threatens not only South Korea, but the entire region. And it's extremely important that we as parliamentarians from around the world talk about this and bring to the attention of the people of this world the threat that that means to all of us. Ronald Reagan back in 1983 talked about creating a deterrent for nuclear weapons. He called it the Strategic Defense Initiative. And what it was a system that would shoot down an incoming missile before it could hit its target. And today, Newt Gingrich talked about that in a meeting with some of the leaders here in this country, and talked about how we in this part of the world ought to all get together and create an umbrella of nuclear deterrence by creating weapons that would shoot down a nuclear weapon if it were launched at South Korea, the United States, or any other part of the world. Nuclear war is something that we cannot ever allow. And Ronald Reagan back in 1983 knew that was the case. And that's why he said we needed the nuclear deterrence, the Strategic Defense Initiative. And he really worked on it. He talked about the Russians having nuclear weapons, and he said what we ought to do is we ought to even give Russia the ability to shoot down intercontinental ballistic missiles that might be headed toward them. If we could shoot down all the nuclear weapons in the world if they were launched, we wouldn't have to worry about them. They would be ineffective. We would not have the weapons of mass destruction that we think about day and night. And here in Korea, one of the things that we need to talk about is reunification of Korea, bringing the two sides together in peace bring about economic development for all, and stop this craziness about nuclear development. It should not happen here or any place else in the world. You know, I had a speech here today that I'm sure all of you would like to hear. It's very good. I wrote it along with Mike. But what I want to do today is just tell you that each and every one of you are very important. You're going to leave this conference that we're having. You're going to go back to your countries, and many of you will forget what we've said, but many of you will remember. And I hope you will take to all of your friends, your constituents, and everybody you know in your country and in other parts of the world, and tell them what we've talked about here today: peace. And we have an organization, the International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace. We have parliamentarians in 75 or 80 countries that are part of this organization. So if we get our message out, it will be a giant step toward reaching the goal that we all want. And that is a world that we don't have to worry about every single day being destroyed by somebody that pushes the wrong button. So today you are very important, all of you. And my speech is going to be very short. Anybody that wants to read it, I'll leave a copy up here. I don't think many of you will, but it's a good one. But just let me say the most important thing that I hope all of you take away from this meeting today is that you are a part of the solution. Most of us don't believe that. Most of us think, oh, somebody else has to take care of it. But it's each and every one of our responsibilities to get the message out that we have to take steps to stop the horrible things that could happen if we ever have a nuclear holocaust. So when you leave here today or tomorrow, whenever you go back to your countries, please remember what we've talked about: peace. And that's what the International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace is all about. And whether you're a member or not, you are a member. I'm making you all a member tonight. Go back to your countries, get the message out, tell the whole world what we're trying to do, and that is bring about true peace for each and every one of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You think that was good?
Right, yeah. Oh, okay.
Dr. Jenkins, kindly unmute.
We can hear it.
Are you talking to
No,
me?
Dr.
Oh,
Jenkins.
Dr. Jenkins.
Now,
Oh, now we hear you. We can see you.
okay, I think it jumped over to the headphone.
Okay.
But I want to show one more video. I've got one more to show, and I'd like to pull that up now myself. Really, Japan put together a very beautiful video for the summit, and that's why I'm going to show this for a second. If you'll allow me to share. Oh, good. This is the Latte Hotel. There's our receiving line. This is Mother Moon's daughter-in-law. Her husband passed away in 2017. Or 2007, I'm sorry. The Sunhawk Peace Prize was so beautiful. We have 3 laureates and 2 founders awards. Miss Walrath planted 51 million trees in Africa. And the gentleman behind her has raised $36 billion to fight poverty. And the third person is also doing education in Africa. And then President Goodluck Jonathan and a very powerful prophet Hadebi in Africa were honored by Mother Moon This is the Little Angels Performing Arts Troupe that was formed in 1961 in the small church that Father and Mother Moon had. Since that is 21 countries of North Africa, Kenya, all the way to Ethiopia, Ivory Coast. Former Secretary General Ban Ki-moon joined the 40 current leaders of parliament, and they formed a new organization. Wanjira planted 51 million trees in 2 countries in Africa. Evangelical Lutheran Church president worldwide.
It's okay, stop.
Dr. Jenkins, your sound has been, is not there anymore.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, now you're back. Dr. Jenkins, now you're back.
I think the video knocked it out. Go ahead, Dr. Berg. Take us to our conclusion.
Oh, it's so hard to coming down from a high like this. Wow, it was an amazing experience. Dan Samia, Michael Jenkins, and everybody who were on this program. I think we come back with something more in our heart than we came there with. And it's I would, for myself, I just call it hope and gratitude. Gratitude for all those who came before us, all who made the effort to make this a possibility. So we have the hope that next conference or whatever comes next, will be very successful. So thank you so much, the Burtons, Dr. Jenkins, and everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you to our beautiful audience.
Thank you.
We have many, many important leaders here from around the world. Thank you. Thank you very much. I see Jane Bergs there, and Ariane cannot come on with her picture right now. She's putting her baby to sleep, but she'd like to meet you, Ariane Hoffman Jenkins. So she'll be texting you, Samia. Ariane, are you there? Thank you.
Can't wait to hear from you.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you all. That was great.
very
Thank you
nice
so much.
program. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we have all on the screen on one screen. We can wave to each other.
Good idea.
Unpin.
It's work.
God bless you.
Oh, there we are. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. Bye-bye.
See you.
God bless. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman
much.
Burton. God bless you.
Yes.
Thank you, Congressman Burton. Samia, thank you so much.
I can feel a
Good job. Good job.
new level of victory here. New level of victory. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you.
He wrote the most famous songs of Journey, and they've sold 100 million albums. One of the longest standing groups that are still so popular. Wow, beautiful. Wow.
Pray for Japan. Seriously.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Berg. Oh, Dr. Sohan Lal Chowdhury from India. He's one of the major professors at the university in Delhi that has 7 million students, Dan. It's unbelievable. 7 million students of New Delhi University. Thank you, Dr. Lal. Sohan Lal. He was there with us in Korea. Wow, so many of our people. Thank you, John Healy.
Oh,
God bless. Thank you, Dan.
my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Honest to God. Well, I think we're gonna do it. We're gonna bring peace to the world. I can see it happening now. It is. It is.
Thank you, John. I think that's a wrap, DJ.
Thank you.
Great job. God bless.
Thank you so much, Bill. So much. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Congressman Burton, let's bring IAPP to Indiana.
I'm sorry.
Let's bring IAPP to Indiana.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Definitely. Yeah. Wow. I'm so inspired. Really. It's a new world. Really a new world. My God. Yeah. It won't be long now. Step by step. Amazing.
All right.
Thank you. Thank
God
you
bless.
very much. God bless you.
Bye, everyone.